Hello and welcome to today's race session. This session is not the race, this is the qualifying session. We've got many different things that we're going to be doing this session, such as watching Posey, watching Wilbur. Well, we won't be watching Wilbur because he's a cone currently. Watching C's, watching Mech, watching Saber, watching Gabby, watching all the drivers do their flying laps. And then, we're going to have an hour break for the GTWS series, which isn't being streamed today. It will be streamed next week for the first race. And after the hour race there, at about 7:10, it will be time for the F3 race. So we'll have many things today. Sadly, these cars have broken TV cams, as we can see. And all the solutions that have been given, I don't actually think will work. Anyway, we won't dish on that. Along with that, we also have bulk crash damage on these vehicles, so just be wary of that. Some say this is an upgrade, others are not sure what to think about them. Anyway, the session starts in a few minutes with the Posey here going out for his sessions. Now, this is the pre-season for the Q2 season of the 2024 calendar of BeamGP. Very complicated, I don't exactly know it myself. We will ignore the fact that I just made that up on the spot. And we go for the session today. So, as we have a look at a Posey going out to do his lap, we'll just talk about a few things. Now, this map is ported from another game, as every map in Beam is, and it was modified to have nighttime lights, so this would be done with nighttime. Although, due to Beam files being, beams, they didn't port the lights over. So I'm having to run this at sunset so you can still see what is going on. Otherwise, it's just pitch black, and that's not exactly the best thing to see. Half the lap down now for Posey on the way out. And can't wait to see what he can do. Of course, if he goes wide at any point, then he is going to be told off and his lap will be disqualified, meaning he'll have to start from the pit lane. Going very wide. This is just the outlap and he resets. There we go. We've just had the GTWS, which is Gran Turismo World Series qualifying session. The first time that we have multiple classes that are actually classes and not just a modified setup. Anyway, across the grid now, and starting his flying lap goes a Posey. You can hear the wind flowing, braking at about 120 for the apex. Very slow there, but you've got to go slow for that turn 1 because it is a very sharp turn 1. Turn 2 and turn 3, pardon me, excuse that, is a flat out section in these cars at least. Down straight for number 1, the left straight, braking at about 100 and missing the apex very slightly. Now through to turn 5 and 6 into turn 7, staying quite in the middle of the track. Of course, he doesn't want to be the first one out and the first one to go wide. Through he goes the other second hairpin. What's going to happen at turn 10 and turn 11? Nice turns there, 9 and 10. Gabby is out on their out lap. Posey, very, very safe, very in the limits. And is that going to be wide? He's kept a wheel on for me. On my screen, he's kept a wheel on. That would be very close, though. But he's going to keep pushing. Oh, I don't know what is going to happen there. But on my screen, he did keep one wheel on. That front left. Oh, that was very close. I think he's had part of that front right still on the track. He's getting very slippy now. Pressure building on him. The first one out on the new season. Of course, the season actually starts next week. But yeah, the pressure to put in well. He's feeling it. Let's have a look at Gab next as he crosses the line. And Gab here, rounding the final corner to go over the line. And yeah, as I was saying, the GTWS Gran Turismo World Series, or Gran Turismo, I'm not exactly sure. With the GT World Series, we'll just keep it at GT World Series. Has two classes, GT3 and GT4. Now, the GT4 series has only got one car driving it this weekend. And that means that driver is going to win the GT4 of pre-season. He just has to finish the race. Of course, being GP rules, if you don't finish the race, this applies for F3 as well, then you don't get the points, you don't get the reward at the end, despite if you do finish in P1. Through turn 9 and turn 10, very conservative here. Gabby is being. Not a lot of pushing through those corners, because those corners are the hardest on the track for any driver. Every driver has issues there. If you put too much brakes on, you just spin out of control of the nature of that corner. Very challenging, but very rewarding if you get it right. Anyways, once the final straight, not the final straight, the second to final, the penultimate straight. This is another chance for DRS to be used. He's keeping it to hugging the left side of the track. Doesn't want to let it go. Braking at 100. Misses the apex, just very much missing the apex. What is he going to do as he crosses the line? That's the first DRS line. That is the first pit line, and this is the timing line. And let's have a look at Wesley now, as I can't see Wesley. We'll just have to do the old Sabre. Here we go, as he crosses the line to start his flying lap. Let's have a look at Sabre's lap, as Mech out very early. I don't remember getting the graphic for that. Sabre missing the apex, maybe cutting the other apex just slightly. There's only been one green flag, so yeah. Missing the apex of turn 4, clipping turn 5 and turn 6. Through turn 7 you can feel that car rotate. What's going to happen into 8? Oh, slippiness, and he's gone wide that corner. The exit just a bit too narrow for him, and he has put the car outside of the track limits. This lap is not going to count, unfortunately. That is very unfortunate for Sabre there, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and he did too much. Sometimes less is more, as they say. And yeah, that turn 8 is showing that clearly. If he did less in turn 8, he would still have the time very much on the edge there. I'm not sure if he was riding or not. As he rounds the final turn now, what is this time going to be? Well, it's going to be disqualified, that's for one, but what is it going to be on the clock as we read it? Well, you guys will have to time it yourself. Posey's been disqualified for track limits. I would argue that he was inside track limits, but Sabre, I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at Mech though, as he starts his flying lap very close to Sabre. Braking at 120. Very shallow, pointy turn 1 there. Gives you an inopportune line for turns 2 and 3. I would prefer a swooping turn 1 to put you on a nice wide track for turn 3 and 4, but he's done the opposite. Into turn 4, he's got a very pointy driving style, and he's gone wide, he's spun it, and he's flipped it. He has rolled it twice, manages to land on his wheels, and gets it going again. But that lap is not going to count anymore. Spectacular crash, I will give it to him. Style points. But that's not exactly what you want to be doing on a qualifying lap, or any lap really. But well, his lap's invalid, and that's the most spectacular way you can finish a lap and still have it not count. Poor Mech. Teammate gets punished, and as we see, Sabre is disqualified from qualifying for track limits. And Gab is also disqualified for track limits. Everyone so far has been disqualified for track limits. I think something's wrong with the FIA today. I think the admin crew have been a bit too stiff-lipped and butthurt about something. I'm not exactly sure what, but they seem to be just dishing out punishments like there's no tomorrow. Oh well. Across the line goes Mech. Someone is behind him. Sees is that person. Let's have a look as Sees crosses the line. They've already crossed the line, but here we go. We're going to rate them into turn 1 as they brake at about 130. That's the line that we more often see halfway in the middle of the track for turn 2. Gives you a better entry for turn 2 than literally on the left hand side of the track. Into turn 4, very wide. He's got a bit of rotation, but he didn't rotate the car as much as he wanted. Mech slowing down a lot. It's going to see how good he disrupts Seas. Of course, we don't want any disruption. Is Mech going to just let him by? Of course, Dirty Air is going to be a factor right now. At these small meters, this is going to be interesting. Lock-up from Mech and a lock-up from Seas. Seas very wide at turn 10. I think the Dirty Air is getting to him from Mech. What's Mech going to do? Mech is pushing. Now you can tell he's pushing because the gap is staying consistent. Very wide there from Seas. I say very wide, it was fairly wide. Into turns 12. What is Mech going to do? Can Seas overtake Mech? Very wide turn 13 there. That is not how you want to do it. That's not going to give you the best time. I think Mech is affecting his lap. Very strategic for Mech if that is on purpose. If not, that's very unfortunate for Seas. Either way, it's unfortunate for Seas. That is not exactly what we want to be seeing. Now I have forgotten how many drivers we have, so as we cross the line again, this is a legal lap, I would say. We'll just have a quick look as we see those flames at the back. Let's have a look at Racing Fox. Racing Fox starting his lap. What is he going to be able to do? We'll find out now. Over the grid, over the line to start his flying lap. Let's have a look. Where does he brake? Brakes later than everyone else so far at 100. Staying in the middle of the track for turn 2, clipping the apex of turn 2, staying full throttle for turn 3. Wide out, going to the middle of the track. I don't know why drivers do this. They drift to the middle of the track in the middle of the straights. Braking at 100 at the start of the curb for turn 4. Missing the apex just slightly. through into turn 5, turn 6, flat out, or well, no, not near flat out, but very high in the revs is what I meant to say. Missing the apex just slightly at turn 8. What's he going to do for the tricky set of corners, turns 9 and 10? Breaking out the apex line, about the tangent of the apex at turn 9. Very wiggly on the exit of turn 10. That will affect him down the straight. Of course, that's not what you want to have, a wiggle before a straight. That loses you a lot of time. Braking at the 50 mark into 11, hitting the apex. And I say hitting very lightly, it was more glinting the apex. And then flat out through turn 12, through turns 13. I think there is a little bit of desync because that car very wobbly. Through the straight, what's he going to do at turn 14 or 15? Eating the curb like it is his breakfast. Over the straight, what's he going to do? Hitting the DRS marker. And over the line. No one else is on a lap. Maybe, no one else is on a lap. So that concludes the qualifying for pre-season testing, and Racing Fox gets pole with that lap. And so yeah, enjoy the hour break, hour and a half, and I will see you all in about an hour for the F3 race. See you guys in a very small bit. Exciting.